Hey, Pipers. Hang on, let me get this thing adjusted here. Hope everybody's doing good. Thought I'd make a quick little video. I was going to watch some YouTube videos, and I said, well, I need to make one today. I've been playing my farm game, catching up on it. I hadn't played much lately. Spent a couple of hours getting caught up on some stuff I had going on that, and we hadn't been in. We got back home about 7:30, went to the Mardi Gras parade. Tonight, I'm going to be smoking. I told y'all I was rehydrating this nearly new can of PETERSON Irish whiskey. And I had left the top a little bit loose. I got this at Christmas, and I didn't put the top on it, so like it should have been. And of course, you know, leaving them in these tins, they'll dry out a little bit anyway. But I kind of like displaying my tins on one of the bookcases. It kind of looks neat. It's just something I do. So I use these little hydraulic discs, submerge them in water, waterlog these things. They're washable. I've used these in the strongest English blend right into an aromatic, and it's not a problem if you wash them. And for those of y'all who hadn't seen Irish whiskey, let's see, let me read on here what it says on the tin. A traditional Irish ready rub blend, tobacco leaf from Africa, Brazil, India, and Italy. Lightly flavored with Irish whiskey for a unique aroma. So this is some different tobacco leaves from around the world. It's got a good tin note. And doggone it, looks like it's got some Cavendish in it, but didn't say nothing about it, so I don't know a thing about any of these, but boy, it's a rich, bold looking tobacco. And I hadn't smoked maybe one bowl out of this. And I'm going to be smoking it tonight. I don't have my contact lenses in. Be smoking it tonight in this little Aldo Villani rusticated pipe. I don't know what shape you'd call this. Maybe an apple. I don't know. But my mom and dad got this for me for Christmas. And I love the, I don't know if it's sandblasted or what, but I like the rustication on it. And this is, the shininess of this is compliments of Carmax. Did a number. This is one that really it shows up good on. So let's get her packed up here. Like I say, this is my second bowl of this, and it has been since December since I've smoked any of this blend. Last night we did PETERSON's Sunset Breeze. Y'all, it's a good one. All right, I had to bump a little heat on in this house. Doggone, it got plumb chilly, and this house is pretty good about holding the heat. It's insulated fairly well. This house was built in 1983, and it's insulated pretty good, and we've re-insulated it. And it's not that cold outside, but it was a good chill up, and that wasn't too bad in the back. We've all kind of already been in the bed. I was propped up back there playing this game, and Miss Emily got up in the bed with us, and she sat back out. I was watching Golden Girls and fooling with that farm game, and I said, well, let me get up here and make a video. But it wasn't too bad back there. But I came up front, and it was, by George, it was nippy. So, this thing, yeah, I was going to say it's about out of fluid, out of butane. This is a little Cabrini that was gifted to me by a fellow who I've been saying his name wrong, and I knew it. I'm the world's worst at not reading something and then just not paying close enough attention. I've been calling him PA pipe smoker, but it's PA pipe guy. And I ought to know that, Louisiana pipe guy, PA pipe guy. I didn't, and my apologies go out to you. But we went to the Mardi Gras. We generally take Emily, and I don't care much about going to the parade, and it was packed. But we've been taking her ever since she was big enough, and usually it's a whole lot colder than it is, and the weather was perfect for her. Parade started at 6. We got down to the downtown. It starts in West Monroe, goes across the river into Monroe, down US 80, which is Louisville Avenue, and pretty big street, kind of the old main drag and through Monroe, and I guess really it still is. But we like to get on the West Monroe side, down in the old downtown West Monroe. It's kind of the historical district, and all those old buildings have been converted. They're antique shops and whatnot, like I told y'all yesterday. And that's where we always get, and it's just a lot more relaxed, better crowd of people. You're not as apt to get into something you shouldn't, not as apt to have the trouble there. Plus some friends of ours had their trailer set up down there. And look, I wish we'd have went. They did very good, and like I say, the weather was great. We got down there at about 2 o'clock, walked around Antique Alley some. I didn't find a pipe, but I really didn't have a chance to look. I kind of visited with them and wound up having them a little on their trailer. And then they had some little carnival rides set up, and Emily, she had to go ride, and I had to take her and ride a couple of rides. But some of those rides were when I was a kid, and they were as old as I am, and I'm crowding 50, and I just wouldn't let her on. I don't know where this little carnival thing was, but some of them old rides was like the Zipper and the Bullet and some old teacups. Now, they wasn't too bad. I let her ride the little motorcycles, but some of those rides were over 50 years old, and the Ferris wheel looked decrepit. I said, no, we're not getting on. And it wasn't the kind that goes upside down. I don't know where these people came out of, but it was the oldest stuff I'd ever seen. But we was walking around. I just had a sweater on, and it wasn't bad at all. And after dark, it started dropping a little bit, but the weather's been beautiful. It's supposed to be crowding at 70. And I may pull a fishing trip this Monday since we're closed. But our friends did really good, and I was really proud for them. They needed a good one. They had bought so much food for the Commander Christmas deal, they wound up having to freeze it. And they do gator on a stick, and you can freeze gator for a little while. I don't know that much about cooking it. Of course, they do gator and frog legs and fried frog legs and gator bites, gator on a stick, chicken on a stick, and that kind of stuff. And they really went in the hole because with the Duck Commander Christmas deal down at the River Market, they really hyped us all up that there was going to be 40 to 50,000 people there. And in fact, it was more like 12 or 15,000. And thankfully, at the last minute, something told me order enough for about 20,000 people. If you run out, you just run out, you'll know where you stand. And even we still bought a little more. We had about $800-900. Well, probably $600 to $800 extra dollars in food costs that we wouldn't have had. But bless their hearts, they went in the hole. So this was able to, we didn't go set up mainly so there wouldn't be any competition. They had room. They wanted one more, and we kind of backed out mainly for them because they try to help them recover their money, and they did, and they come out even a little ahead. So they was, we were glad to see that. Anyhow, and they had some turkey legs. They were smoked turkey legs and stuff. may not have this packed very good. And this pipe is a little harder to pack. It's not hard to pack, but it's different packing. Well, I guess Guy and them is at made it to Boswell's. I'd hope they would download the video, but hadn't heard anything out of them. But I hope they had a good trip. I hope he got to go. I know his last Boswell's trip, I think, got canceled at the last minute. And I hope he wound up making it there, and Tim and all of them was able to get together. And like I say, I do hope they did a video. So, craft spirit. Well, this is a unique blend, this Irish whiskey. Now you can definitely taste the whiskey in it. It's not overpowering. Excuse me. And it will certainly be a keeper. For some of you people that really don't care much for aromatics, this is not an overpowering blend at all. I think even y'all would like this one too. Now with the Sunset Breeze, the amaretto, you know you're dealing with an aromatic there. Now I will say, like I say, this is a keeper, and I'll smoke this. I'll keep this and buy it again from time to time. But it does have a little tongue bite. Now I'll say this. I've smoked several whiskey blends and a lot of Highland whiskey. Several people make Highland whiskeys. Just about any brick and mortar you go into is going to have a Highland whiskey. And several of your leading manufacturers make Irish whiskey. Highland whiskey. And they're all very similar. And I probably smoked 3 or 4 different Highland whiskeys, and everything with the word whiskey on it has always tended to bite a little bit. Now, rum to me doesn't do it, a rum based. But if it's whiskey, it will. To me, this is what I get out of it. But this is very mild. I've had some Highland whiskeys. Y'all heard me talk about Just for Him, and it's my favorite brick and mortar, nicest one, like I said, I've ever been in. But their Highland whiskey will bite a plug out of you. It's great. The flavor's great, but man. But this is not. It's got a little, not too bad, not near like that. I would still recommend it if you hadn't tried Peterson's. They make some good blends, and I have smoked several of them. This thing is just not packed. Chris, we may try to ease over after church. I'll call you if we decide to go or whatever. I'll holler at you. We didn't make it to Bonnie and Clyde trade days, but we may make it after church tomorrow. Don't know. If I'm going fishing Monday, I need to do some little stuff to my boat. I need to get it ready to go. All the batteries got to be charged, and I need to come home and get my tackle box straight. And I need to reline one of my rod and reel. So if I'm gonna make a decision tomorrow. I'm going fishing. I'm staying home after church and getting ready for that. I got to get back in church because we were sick for 2 weeks and then lazy for 2 weeks. It's been a month since I've been to church, and I'm almost ashamed to say that. God's been really good to me, and I know going to church ain't going to save you alone, but it sure is part of the package, and I like to go as much as I can and learn. Look, y'all have a good one. God bless.